Hello YouTube, it's Acoustic again, back with another video from my new home studio setup. And yeah, it's been about 7 weeks since my last upload here on the channel, and that's just what it is, because I've been busy with the move. We moved from a rental apartment to this house, which is also my childhood home, and I just came back here and took over the house from my dad, you know? I've mentioned all of this on the channel before, but yeah, here we are, and the studio is not done. Of course, it's not finished, but it's now at a point where I can actually work from here. Make videos, make beats, you know, all the stuff I want to do. As well as hopefully getting back to doing live streams as well. But you never know. I never really planned out any videos covering this entire process this time around, because I was actually a bit too busy doing all the stuff, and having to think about how to frame something for YouTube didn't really make sense. But I ended up filming most of the process, and that's what this video is gonna be. Let's cover the process of transforming this room from my dad's secondary workshop for handiwork to the type of creative studio that it is right now. Dealing with the walls, setting up some acoustic treatment, getting all my stuff into place, and making this kind of a cozy, nice, cool place for me to be able to make videos, music, and all that stuff that I normally do. I also built myself a studio rack, and I bought a patch bay and set that up in here, so that's also going to be covered. But, you know, let's just travel back in time a few weeks and take a look at the process I went through to set this place up. Let's go! In the process of setting this new home studio up, I decided that it's finally time for me to get a proper patch bay installed in my setup. I haven't had one before, and it's always been kind of a nightmare to patch things left and right, to send the audio from my MPC to machine or to a pedal or something like that. And this is also a nice way for me to get my audio interfaces that are rack mounted off the desk itself, to save up a little bit of space, because this is not a big space that I'm working out of. And I decided to build this little rack unit today, just a couple of hours ago. Just some wood and some screws and some whatnot, and it seems to work just fine, even though it's maybe not the most beautiful thing you've ever seen. And since I've been using the Apollo X8 from Universal Audio in terms of my audio interfaces goes, I've been able to route different inputs and outputs on the software itself, but this is going to be a lot easier. And I also got this Generation Loss Mark II foot pedal by Chase Bliss. And this is an awesome little unit for being able to get stuff to sound a little bit funky and lo-fi and whatever like that. And routing things to this one and from this one will just be a lot easier with the patch bay right here. And if you don't know what a patch bay is, it's basically just a bunch of jacks on the front and the same jacks on the back, pretty much. From the front it looks like this, and from the back it looks like this. This specific one is the Art P48, which is a 48-point balanced patch bay. And what's cool about this one is that you're basically able to change the functionality of it from normal to half normal. With just one click of a button on the back from normal to half normal mode, I can change the conductivity like that, which is really, really handy. everything's always going to be connected in the back. Both my inputs and my outputs, my instruments and my audio interface and my samplers and everything like that. And if I ever wanted to change how anything goes in terms of the signal chain, I can do that from the front. And in normal mode, I'm basically just going to take the signal from one patch point to another one. And in half normal mode, I'm going to be able to split the signal coming from one source going to 2 different destinations. I think that kind of makes sense. If you don't know anything about this, I actually kind of encourage anyone with a studio with a bunch of gear to look into something like this. It's not expensive, it doesn't need power to work, it just sends the signal back and forth and makes life a lot easier. Hopefully, even for me in this studio. But for now, it's time to install the audio interfaces in here, and I've left a little bit of room. This one is just empty, and this one too, with just air behind it, because the stuff actually generates a little bit of heat and needs a little bit of air to be able to breathe. Just like that's not as easy as I thought. Oh, these ones. Yeah. So these ones needs to go in here in order to fit the screws into something. And of course I put all of these ones that I've already done in the wrong direction too, so it doesn't really matter, but I still kind of want to fix it, so give it one more shot. Now with this rack set up over here, acting as one of the legs for this tabletop, that seems to work just fine, but I'm also realizing that my main desk, the one behind me, is a little bit too small and definitely a bit too shallow, because I have a really big computer monitor and it gets too close to my face and it's just not comfortable to work like that. So I brought the old one from my previous studio, and let's just switch that out right now. I know I'm a little bit indecisive here, but I want this to work and be as good as possible, so, you know. That one's not going anywhere. I can't make up my mind, but this is what I'm gonna go for, and this is gonna be amazing, right? It might be a little bit ridiculous to have that big of a table in a small room like this, but I'm also pretty sure I can use that space for useful stuff. Video editing, shooting videos, the overhead shots and everything like that, because the desktop itself looks kind of cool. So far it feels really, really good, but I'm not fooling myself into believing that it's always going to be this clean, because of course I'm going to put a lot of stuff on this desk too, even though I'm not really supposed to, because this is the shooting and editing table, I guess, where the one behind me is the beat making table. But things just tend to go the opposite way of what I plan, but it's all good, you know?
It's all good. Check it out. It's all good. It's all good. Check it out. So good.
Oh, good.
And yeah, that's basically where we are today. So the studio setup is definitely not done. I'm not finished. I'm not totally happy about every single detail of it, but at least it's something, and I'm ready to work from here, and it feels nice and cozy and inspiring, and yeah, I'm gonna be able to make a lot of cool stuff in here, I'm sure. The acoustic panels I've got here, my absorbers and my diffusers from t.akustik, link down below, they work wonders for this room, and they make a big difference to the overall sound, because this room used to sound like complete garbage and now it's way, way better. But I still need to make some minor tweaks to the lower frequencies of my audio, because I still have a bass build-up that doesn't allow me to make music and mix my stuff in a way that translates nicely between my sets of speakers and different sets of speakers. So I guess that's just one of the things I'm gonna have to get used to and get to know a little bit better and make some tweaks over time to make things work in a more professional way or whatever. But you know, I feel like I'm at a point now where I have transformed this old like workshop space to a creative studio where I'm able to make videos, live streams, beats, tutorials, sample packs, something like that. Who knows? My plan is just that you're gonna see way more of me working with stuff here in this studio space, and I just wanted to bring you guys along for the ride of setting this place up. So I guess that's it for this video right here. And of course I'm gonna do a proper home studio tour whenever this room is in a state where I'm proud to show every single detail like that. But let's end this video off with just some random clips of how it looks right now. And yeah, you know, I'll see you guys in the next video. Thanks a lot for watching this one. Ha det gott!
Never dying, always living.